All right, so today we talked about multiplying or dividing whole numbers and decimals by 10, 100, or 1000. And we talked about a few Smith super secret math hacks. Our first Smith super secret math hack was if we were multiplying by 10, 100, or 1000, essentially what we're doing is we're taking the decimal and we are moving it to the right. And then our second Smith super secret math hack is if we do the opposite operation. So if we divide, essentially what we're doing is we are taking that decimal and we are moving it to the left. So the operation tells us which way that decimal is moving, but we need to figure out how many times am I moving that decimal. So our Smith super secret math hack for that is we were going to look at what number we are multiplying or dividing by. So 10, 100, or 1000. And our trick is you count the number of zeros. So for example, the number 10 has 1 0, 100, 2 zeros. And however many zeros are in that number, that's how many places you're moving the decimal. Let's look at a few examples. The first number that I am going to start with is going to be the number 4,592 and 6/10. Okay. So let's say that I wanted you to take this number right here and I wanted you to multiply it by 10. So I'm going to run through my Smith super secret math hacks. First thing I'm going to look at is what is the operation. So since I am multiplying, I am moving my decimal to the right. And then the second thing is I need to figure out how many times I'm going to move that decimal. So when I look at the number 10, I see 1 0, which means I'm going to move that decimal one time to the right. So if I take that decimal, move it one time to the right, 4,592 and 6/10 times 10 is going to give me a final answer of 45,926. Okay, let's look at the same number, but let's change up what we're doing to it. So this time, instead of multiplying by 10, I'm going to multiply times 100. Let's run through our Smith super secret math hacks. I'm going to look at the operation. Multiplying tells me I'm going to the right. I'm going to count how many zeros I see. So I see 1, 2 zeros, which means I am going to move this decimal 2 times to the right. So there's 1, 2 times. Now what I've created here is this giant gap, and I can't leave gaps unfilled, and we fill our gaps with zeros. So when I take 4,592 and 6/10 and I multiply it times 100, I end up with an answer of 459,260. Stick with the same number, but this time let's switch to dividing. So this time I'm going to divide by 10. That division symbol tells me that I'm moving my decimal to the left. That 1 0 tells me I'm moving it one space. So I'm going to take that decimal, move it one time to the left, and 4,592 and 6/10 divided by 10 gives me a final answer of 459 and 26/100. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to show is what happens if I have a whole number like the number 9. And I told you to do 9 divided by 10. Well, our trick was we looked at the operation. Division tells me I'm moving to the left. Count the zeros. I have 1 0, which means I'm moving the decimal one time to the left. But when I look at the number 9, there's not an obvious decimal there. So here's what we have to remember is that every whole number, so whether that's the number 9, the number 624, the number 1087, every whole number has an invisible decimal that is hiding at the end of each number. So that number 9 has that invisible decimal. All I need to do is make it visible so I can move it one time to the left for a final answer of and 9/10. Hope this helped.